News in another deadly domestic shooting.
Celebrate Thanksgiving with family and friends. It's a holiday one East Austin family would rather forget.
On Thanksgiving in 2004, Janet Yeary from Kokomo, Indiana, excitedly prepared for a traditional family gathering at her residence. As the day unfolded, her daughter Carly, who lived just across the street, became anxious due to the lack of communication. According to CBS 4, Carly's distress led her to discovering her mother's lifeless body brutally murdered. The Thanksgiving feast already underway and the turkey cooking in the oven. There was no evidence indicating that someone had broken in. Law enforcement had received reports about a man named Danny Case, allegedly dropped off in the neighborhood the previous night going door to door seeking rides. Acting on these leads, the police located and apprehended Case at Indianapolis International Airport in January 2005, based on an outstanding warrant. However, before charges could be filed in connection with the crime, Case tragically took his own life in a holding cell. While authorities consider Case the primary suspect in Yeary's murder, 2 additional killings occurred in the vicinity. Nathan Dodson, also known as Nat Dog, becomes another person of interest due to his violent history and ominous connections to all 3 victims. Some speculate whether the police may have pursued the wrong individual, leaving the case unresolved and enveloped in mystery and uncertainty to this day. On Thanksgiving in 1998, tragedy struck the Pravaki family in their Muskegon, Michigan home. Stephen Pravaki, his wife Linda, their son Jedediah, his girlfriend April Boss, and Stephen's father John were all fatally shot in the head sometime after noon. The main suspect in the gruesome incident was the youngest son, Seth. April's parents discovered the bodies when she didn't return from the Pravakis, and they went searching for her. They reported seeing someone flee the house just before they stumbled on John's body in the garage. When the police arrived, a young man named Stephen Wallace approached them, revealing that Seth had confessed to the murders over the phone and asked him to get rid of the gun, which he did. Wallace also assisted Seth in cleaning up the scene, but fled when April's parents appeared. Seth was swiftly apprehended, initially blaming his brother for the family's deaths. However, he eventually confessed. Seth decided to do the crime after being told to leave the house at 18 years old. Police described his demeanor as emotionless, as if he were detached. Seth Pravaki was quickly convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Almost 12 years later, on July 10, 2010, Seth was shot to death after trying to escape an Upper Peninsula prison. On Thanksgiving Day in 1985 in Lake Worth, Texas, the Blunt family decided to go out for ice cream after their dinner. Upon returning home, they discovered a briefcase on their front porch. Joe Blount brought it inside only for it to explode. The explosion claimed the lives of Joe, his daughter Angela Jo, and his nephew Michael Columbus. Joe's son survived but suffered severe burns, while Joe's wife Susan was unharmed. Initially, the incident baffled investigators. The Blount family appeared to have no enemies or involvement in anything suspicious. However, after a 12-year investigation, the police eventually solved the mystery. A man named Michael Roy Tony was arrested for the crime. It turned out that the bomb was intended for someone else connected to Tony's illegal narcotics business. Tony was found guilty and spent over a decade on death row, but in 2009, his conviction was overturned. It was discovered that the prosecution had withheld evidence that could have supported Tony's case. However, Tony's taste of freedom was short-lived, as he tragically lost his life in a car accident a few weeks after being released from prison.